All right, let's be respectful of everyone's time here. We are going to go ahead and get started with today's presentation. It's Build Today, Get Paid Tomorrow, brought to you by TimeSolve. We're going to talk about some of the foundation and up tools and best practices for small and mid-sized law firms in order for you to get paid. And then we are going to talk about some of the specific functionality within TimeSolve that will allow you to, what's that? Build today and get paid tomorrow? That's exactly right. So let's just go ahead and start rolling through our presentation. So I'm Joyce Bradford. I am a lawyer. I work as a practice management advisor here at ProfitSolve, and I'm also an enterprise sales executive. So I am here to support you. So let's talk about the tools you need. Every successful business starts with a plan, and in law, we can get overwhelmed with marketing and over-the-top solutions. But the truth of the matter is you only need to focus on a few core things in order for you to have a very successful practice that allows you to bill quickly and, more importantly, to get paid quickly. So let's talk about what we need. One, you need to be able to build your documents. This is your work product that you can complete and that you create for your clients. It is necessary to be able to receive and edit and to create from scratch or from templates documents. I highly recommend Microsoft Word. There are some folks who swear up and down that Google Docs is better. I will tell you from my experience, it is not, because you need to function in a collaborative way. And people send you Word documents and they expect to receive Word documents. So just get Microsoft Word. Email is much of the same. There are some folks who really do prefer Gmail. I personally do not. I like Gmail as a personal solution, but from a business management solution, I believe that it makes a lot of sense to engage with Microsoft Office 365. I need to be able to send and receive my documents that way. Importantly, I need to be able to notify my clients of work that I've done on their behalf and to send them invoices. Email is one of the most common ways that we send invoices to our clients, and it's necessary to have a business level solution that will allow you to send at least notifications. Even if you're sending things in a client portal, you need to be able to utilize a business level solution to communicate with your clients. I think that the gold standard here is Microsoft Office 365 and specifically Outlook. I would encourage you to use it. And don't use free versions of software. If you are not paying for software, then that software is using you as a product and they're selling your data, and you are an attorney with confidential client information. You must protect that data. You have a Rule 1.1 competency rule that requires you to be competent in terms of the technology that you are using, and you absolutely have a confidentiality rule. So those two rules are going to intersect when it comes to technology and what you're using. So let's keep going here. You also are going to have a case management solution where you're going to store your files. In this case, we're talking about TimeSolve, and this is where you are going to manage your time and your billing, and you're going to create your invoices. You need to be able to quickly refer to the client product that you have created and to see how much money that is worth. Is it a flat fee? Are you working on a contingency basis? Are you working on an hourly basis? How are you billing your clients? All of this needs to be in TimeSolve, and when you are utilizing that system appropriately, you absolutely are going to be able to quickly recognize what you've done and rapidly turn around an invoice so you can get paid this afternoon, if not tomorrow. Of course, you need to make sure that you're integrated with your accounting solution so that when someone does pay you, it pings right on over into your bank account. So make sure you have your QuickBooks set up. That's necessary. And then e-signature and payments. E-signature is something that I would love for every law firm to utilize. This is a wonderful solution when you are working with a client specifically remotely, or maybe you don't want to have to wait for a client to come into your office to begin working for them. So having a solution, and in TimeSolve's case, LexShare is the solution that's built directly into TimeSolve, allowing you to collect a signature on a fee agreement, and a representation agreement allows you to start your work. And as long as you have that fee agreement signed, you can start work and start billing your client. And then, of course, payments. You absolutely need to have a payment solution. TimeSolve solves this for you by having integrated payment solutions. This will allow you to create links directly in your invoices that someone can click and turn around and pay the same way they pay all of their other bills. So this is just necessary if you want to get paid quickly. Now, there are some folks who are going to say to me, are you sure that you need a payment solution? What about all those credit card processing fees? And I say to you, a couple of things. One, let's assume for a moment that you do have credit card processing fees, and those are going to average for most credit card processors, the 3.5%, 3.9%, right? You're going to typically get better. And right now with TimeSolve, if you sign up during the month of November with TimeSolve, you'll get 2.75% processing on all credit cards. So you're going to beat that industry average. But let's say for the sake of argument, you're looking at 3.9%. Well, most folks, most law firms that don't collect payments on invoices via electronic payment have a collection rate somewhere in the neighborhood of 85 to 90%. Maybe you're really good and you've got a 95% collection rate. Even if you build in a 3.9% collection rate, but you're able to collect from absolutely everybody or closer than what you have right now, you're still making more money for your firm. It just works out, the math works out. But really, it's more than just that. It's about customer service and how clients want to pay and what they expect from a professional service provider. And just like when you go to the doctor's office, you expect to be able to pay with your credit card or your debit card. Clients expect to be able to pay you the same way. It is just the way modern law offices do business. These are the foundational tools that you need in order to create work product and to build quickly. But if you have these tools and you let TimeSolve take the burden off of you with some document creation tools for your documents, with your time and billing for your case management, with two-way syncing to QuickBooks to manage that what would otherwise be double data entry into your accounting solution, you integrate e-signature with LexShare, and you use the integrated solution for payments in TimeSolve Pay, you, with one single solution, have touched on 5 of the 6 core tools that you need in order to bill today and get paid tomorrow. So anytime you look at a solution for your law firm, you need to be trying to close the gap. You should try to meet the gap with or fill at least 2 holes in your process. Always try to fill at least 2 holes. We just mentioned that TimeSolve can cover, at least partially cover 5 of these. And think about the target audience of a solution. If you're using a small billing or a small business solution for your firm that's not a legal specific solution, it can be hard to tell what efficiencies you're missing. But legal specific solutions that are built for our industry are going to more accurately represent you as a consumer and better fit your needs because they are engineered. These solutions are engineered to be a better fit for you. And then of course the cost savings when you can build in some efficiencies, and you always want something that's easy to use. So let's talk about TimeSolve here. We talked about some document automation. We can create fee agreements. We can create scope of representation letters. We can do several default documents for most of your clients directly within TimeSolve. We have reporting functionality, so you can see who's currently sitting in accounts receivable. We have reporting ability to see what work you've done, your billing status on all of your matters, as well as who's going to be billed next. And then of course we have a repeatable billing process that's built directly into TimeSolve. And don't forget the integrations. So let's talk about TimeSolve as an actual solution. This is why you're here, to see if TimeSolve is a good fit for you to bill today and get paid tomorrow. So one of the very first things that you need to know about TimeSolve is the time entry analytics and how easy it is to enter time. So here on the screen, you're going to see a time entry card in TimeSolve. You've got your dashboard, your clients, your calendar. That 4th tab over is time. You open a time entry card and you see who you're billing for, the date that you're billing. Do you need to add a specific matter? Yes, you do. Is there a task code associated with this? Is the time billable or non-billable or with no charge? You have the ability to start a timer right there. You can track by practice area. You can add a specific rate along with some other default rates, but you can always make that a variable rate depending on what you're doing. You have some flexibility here. And there are lots of other options on this. You have this time entry, and then you can set things up to submit for approval. So if you want an approval for your firm, you can set that up as well. But look at how easy it is to enter this time. I can manually enter time. I can set a timer on this. I can see exactly who it's for. I can see my rate on this. And all of this allows me to go back and run some phenomenal reports. But beyond tracking time anywhere and then running the reports on those billable hours or billable work that I've done, flat fee contingency or based on billable hour, I can also continuously work in the way that makes the most sense for me. And you'll see here on this screen are multiple timers within TimeSolve. You can move back and forth between your tasks just about seamlessly. Again, on this time tab within TimeSolve, not only can you track your time here, but it's also trackable with your desktop app. So if you're not connected to the internet, you can still run the app right on your PC. And then, of course, you have some wonderful solutions here for abbreviation. So if you're doing a task code, you have these great abbreviations. So you're entering 2 or 3 letters and you are getting consistency in your billing. So do you have a conference call? Do you have an office action for review of a patent renewal, excuse me. All of these things are fields that you can fill out that are customizable within TimeSolve, and they are easy for you to be consistent in how you bill and to save time when you're creating these bills. One of the wonderful things I love about TimeSolve is again, it goes back to that solid and consistent reporting. I want to be able to see how much I billed on every single day of the month. So I go again in my time tab here, and I have my time entry calendar, and I have my total calendar for the day. I can see I billed 6.4 hours on the 23rd. I can see that I billed 7.4 hours on the 27th, and I can click directly into any of these to see how much work I've done and who I've done the work for. But let's talk about billing quickly. So we've talked about how easy it is to create an invoice. We've talked about the gaps that that TimeSolve fills for you in terms of creating that fee agreement and scope of representation letter, about getting your agreements signed with our integration with LexShare. We've talked about how easy it is to send information or get information from your clients, get information either through email or from LexShare, and then to very easily record your time. But let's now talk about getting paid faster. So some of the core functionality and features we have within TimeSolve is flexible billing templates. So you can create individualized bills that you can run at the same time that you run all of your other bills. But if you want to run something that's just absolutely crazy, you want to charge someone 36 cents an hour, you can absolutely do that. You have lots of flexibility in this. You have the ability to split your invoices among multiple clients. It's called split billing, and you can get paid online. But let's talk specifically about batch invoices. This is how you get paid the fastest. You have the ability to create all of your invoices at one time. Anything that needs to be invoiced out to your clients that you've finalized, you've reviewed your work in progress, boom, create your batch invoices. But of course, maybe you don't want to do that. Or maybe you want to get a little creative with your billing. Even when you have a flexible billing template, that is still an invoice that is created or that can be created in a batch format. So don't think that everything that's done in a batch has to look exactly the same. It doesn't. You've got flexibility within TimeSolve. But I really want to focus on this part, the getting paid faster. If you are concerned with how quickly you can get paid, there is nothing that you can do in your firm that will bring you revenue faster than collecting electronic payments. It is the #1 solution to collect more revenue and to get paid much faster than you are with either a paper check or with cash or collecting credit cards over the phone. You need to connect on an electronic payment solution. TimeSolve has one built in for you. And then what happens with this solution is you can set recurring bills that go out on a regular basis, or you can set one-off invoices if you need to collect right away. Speaking of recurring bills, let's talk about this in just a moment, or for just a moment here. Here within the Matter Details, you have the ability to schedule your invoices when something is due. And TimeSolve can actually send out your invoices for you automatically. So I have the ability to see various due dates on these Matter Details here, and I will be able to go back and edit these due dates. I can send these out automatically. I can send these out manually, but there's no question my clients will see exactly when something is due. But if I go back and I have an electronic payment method associated with that matter and with that client doesn't need to worry about anything. That bill, that invoice is going to be drawn directly from their credit card, as long as they have a credit card on file. It eliminates a tremendous amount of collection work on your behalf. So let's talk about some of the other solutions that you need to think about in TimeSolve when you're worried about how much money I have that I need to collect. There are 31 different reports within TimeSolve. These things include, what are my time entries for the month? I want to see a time entry summary by matter. I want to see a time entry summary by timekeeper. I want to see my expense entries. Maybe you're really concerned about missing time. Do I have calendar events? Do I have invoices? Do I have tasks that should have been marked as billable, that should have had time added to them, but are missing time? I can find that looking at each day of the week and just running these reports. I can see a total task summary on my accounting reports. I see my total accounts receivable. Now, the accounts receivable, you might think, well, why do I need to know that? I know I need to collect funds. Well, there's actually some pretty important functionality within the AR report. And first and foremost, you need to understand that not every client is created equal, and not every client, it's not a very nice thing for a lawyer to say, right? But not every client owes you the same amount of money and has the same amount of time that an invoice is past due. The further out in time you go from when an invoice is created and sent to a client, the less likely you are to be able to collect on it. It's important to understand exactly what your collection rate is based on a 30, 60, 90-day return. The closer you get to 90 days, the less likely you are to collect anything at all. That's when you're in write off, write down, and just completely dismiss, completely write off that invoice as just the cost of doing business. So your job is to look at your aging AR report, say, how much money do I have that is in collections right now? Who owes me the most money? What is my most recent invoice? I would focus on those two pieces. What is my most recent overdue invoice? And who owes me the most money? At that point, I would then contact those clients and I would get their payment information on file. What's a wonderful thing about TimeSolve that not everybody offers is an ongoing payment plan. So if you say to your client, listen, I understand you owe me $10,000 and maybe you don't have that right now, but we need to start collecting on this. Why don't I charge you $500 a month for the next 20 months? You can set that up with your client, get a credit card on file, and that is billed to their credit card every single month, and you don't need to think about it again. You'll only get a notice if it's not paid or they remove the credit card. So get the card on file, set up payment plans for folks who have overdue invoices, and get those large amounts collected. But then after you deal with those pieces, don't forget the small guys too. Those $250 invoices can be really easy to write off. Don't do it. Contact them. Have a template in your email. Say, listen, I want to get payment information from you on file. Call the law office. Or you can send them a link for them to put payment information on file themselves. All right. So again, talking about how we're going to collect faster, one of the best ways to do this is to have it beyond billing quickly and having electronic payments. It's for clients to know what to expect when they get the invoice from you. So if you aren't doing flat fee or contingency and are instead doing an hourly rate or some mixture of hourly and flat fee, it's pretty important to estimate your matter cost. TimeSolve has some wonderful solutions that will allow you to do that. So you can look at exactly how many hours are budgeted. You can prevent yourself from adding more hours than you've budgeted to a matter. So you will hold firm on that. You won't be allowed to enter any additional time without overriding a warning in the system. How many fees you expect on this and expenses you expect with this particular matter. And you can get pretty substantial estimate. So your client's not surprised when they see the total bill that's due to them. This is a wonderful tool to make sure you get paid and to prepare your client to pay you in a timely fashion. So what does all this mean, right? We know that TimeSolve has the tools you need to cover at least partially 5 of those 6 core solutions that you need. We know that TimeSolve will help you generate your report so you can see not only how can I bill quickly, but what can I bill from that's in accounts receivable right now to collect my outstanding debt. And we have some tools that allow us to put people on payment plans. So debt that would otherwise be uncollectible, we can create some solutions around that. So how does this work for us? So TimeSolve is an incredibly affordable solution. Looking at where we are in the market right now for just TimeSolve, you're looking at $35.95 a month per user. Outrageously reasonable for what you're collecting. I mean, we're talking about what, 1/4, 1/8 of an hour of billable work less than that, significantly less than that for some people. Other great solutions in this market include Rocket Matter. That's a more substantial program that is $99. Cosmolex is in the same category. We've got some other players in the market again that are a little more robust programs. And then you have larger programs that are starting at $149 a month that don't do half of what TimeSolve does because they don't integrate in a two-way or bi-directional sync with your accounting solution. So if you look at what you need, if your job, if your core goal right now is to bill correctly and to get paid quickly, TimeSolve is an amazing solution for you. In fact, it's a phenomenal deal for anyone who wants comprehensive time and billing for their firm. I would encourage you to get a demonstration and a trial of Cosmolex. Excuse me, not Cosmolex. Well, that too. Rocket Matter if you would like that as well. But get a demonstration, get a trial account of TimeSolve, and see just how easy this is to use. I cannot express to you the outrageous functionality of this program and how inexpensive it is. What a really, really good deal it is. So start your free trial, get a demonstration so you can see how it's going to work, and start billing your clients. You truly can generate an invoice today, send out a link with a payment link attached to it, send out an invoice with a payment link attached to it, and get paid this afternoon or get paid tomorrow. That is not an overstatement. You can do this. You can get paid. You can improve your bottom line. All right, so my name's Joyce Bradford. You can always reach me at joyce.bradford@profitsolve.com. You can go to our website, profitsolve.com. You can also go directly to timesolve.com, but please reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm here as a resource for you. And as always, thank you so much for your time, and I hope that you have a great day.